We welcome you to Round Rock, Texas, wrapping up a three-game series between Carolina and the Texas Volts. Nigeri Kennedy helped set the tone in this. Two great starts in this series for Ali Carta and Nigeri Kennedy. And now Rachel Garcia tries to make it a trio of impressive performances. The fifth-year pro from Palmdale, California, was an absolute superstar at UCLA. She will face a mixed-up Carolina lineup, a very different look. And it starts with Reese Atwood at the top. She has been their best hitter. She's been one of the best in the league, certainly among rookies, but among anyone in the AUSL in her rookie campaign. And so she will lead off tonight against Texas, and Atwood right on cue into right field, and she is going to try for extra bases. The throw in not there. It's a leadoff double for Reese Atwood.
Put her at the top so that the Volts have to pitch to her. They have been pitching around her in this series. In game one, whenever the Blaze lost in extra innings, they walked her twice, and then you could tell after the home run that Reese Atwood hit in game two, they did not want anything to do with her. You put her at the top, forcing the Volts to pitch to her. This is exactly what the Blaze wanted.
10 of her 17 hits now on the season are for extra bases. That is good for 58%. And so more of these changes are that Valerie Cagle is not just in this lineup, she's in the two-hole. She's kind of been in and out. We've seen a little bit of her, and when she's been in the batter's box, she's seemingly had success, but not only does she get the start, but she goes in the two-hole. Cagle hitting .375 on the season, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. She's 1 for 2 in the series with a double and has been hit by a pitch. And is ahead 3-0.
It's a little bit rainy, and so Rachel Garcia, when she's going to throw her curveball, rise, drop, screwball mix, is going to have to be dealing a little bit of moisture on the ball, but she'll go to her curveball on both sides of the plate about 50% of the time. The thing that makes her so special, there's a few things, because we're looking at one of the best athletes to play our game. She can swing it, she can pitch it, she can drop bombs. She really can do it all, but it's her off-speed drop that she'll mix in at about 62. And then she'll be one of the hardest throwers in her game. Her curveball and rise ball average 70 miles an hour. She's even hit 73.4 on her rise ball. Been pitching well as of late. Her last 3 appearances, her ERA has decreased.
Swing and a miss. Cagle was ahead 3-0. That's a great pitch by Garcia. Atwood is able to take third.
And that's that drop ball. Out of all of the drop balls in the AUSL, she has the highest whiff rate on this pitch. Is it about a 50% clip? So that is a drop ball, 62 miles an hour. She takes a little something off of it and gets a lot of chases in the dirt.
Valerie Cagle was ahead 3-0 and actually swung at a 3-0 pitch that was out of the strike zone based on the zone we are seeing in the booth.
Well, how about her able to throw that drop ball through the zone for a strike, too? So she struck out Cagle on it in the dirt, got her out in front, and then comes right back to get ahead through the zone with that pitch against Leach.
Aubrey Leach, who is typically in the leadoff spot for Carolina, now in the 3-hole and desperately looking for her first hit of the series. 0 for 7 with a walk for Aubrey. One pitch. What we've seen from Texas in this series probably looks a little bit more like what Kat Osterman had imagined. Sure, she'd like some more offense, but when we saw this pitching staff after the allocation draft, we thought, wow, this could be one of the best pitching staffs in the league. And then this weekend, Carta, Kennedy, and Garcia now trying to show why they could have been.
Well, Nigeri Kennedy set the tone in game one. She got the ball through a complete game, through one of the longest games of her collegiate and professional career. There's Kat Osterman in her suite, taking it all in. Good to see her, as always, here in Austin.
What do you think Kat's watching?
I think she's watching us. Or maybe, well, I don't know. I think maybe she's watching us.
Aubrey Leach is aboard. Now we have to wait and see if she looks this direction to see if we were correct in our thinking. First and third with just one out. Devin Netz swings first pitch. She's 3 for 8 in this series. Carolina has just 9 total hits, and Devin Netz is the only one with multiple hits in the series. Blaze just 4 for 18 with runners on base in the first 2 games. Garcia just outside on the 0-1 pitch.
This Blaze team just needs to find a way to get their offense going. It's why they've shuffled up their lineup. Must-win situation for the Blaze. Their last 2 games against the Volts, only hitting 176. First 2 games, they had some decent success.
Well, first and third action there, but Tiare Jennings holds it and runs Aubrey Leach back to first. Carolina just feels like a week ago was in the playoff position, in the conversation certainly, but they were in second place. Actually beat Utah, the first matchup between those two, in a 2-game set last week, 4-2, and then lost in walk-off fashion the game after that, and that is what has started this 5-game losing streak with 4 walk-off losses. 2-2 to Netz. Swings through it. Great pitch from Garcia. Strikeout number 2.
And that's one of the versions of her curve that makes her, as a pitcher, so special. Her ability to throw this righty-on-righty backdoor. So a backdoor curveball in our game is going to start at a right-handed hitter's left hip and then break back across the inside corner. And at 70-71, that is hard to get your barrel to.
Dakota Kennedy swings at the first pitch. She did not play in game 2. It's 0 for 2 at the plate in the series. Has been struggling a little bit as of late, but got off to a great start. You know what the big bat from Arkansas can do. Finished her college career at Arkansas after spending the majority of it in Arizona. Rachel Garcia gave up a leadoff double to Reese Atwood, then struck out Valerie Cagle, walked Leach. Now trying to get back-to-back strikeouts and get out of this inning. Just feels like Carolina is begging for someone other than Reese Atwood to come through in a situation like this. All 3 runs in this series, but they all came in game 2. We're off the bat of Atwood with 2 outs on a 3-run home run in a spot where it looked like they were going to leave multiple runners on the base paths yet again. 2-2. Ground ball that hits the base and is fair. 1 run scores. Leach is up to third, or no, they're going to say foul ball. They're going to say it hit the safety bag and send the runners back.
Yeah, definitely hit a bag down there, you could tell for sure, but hit the orange safety bag, so it's going to be a foul ball because of that.
Very close, but good eye from our umpires. Outside 3-2.
Dakota Kennedy had the day off in game 2. 2 strikeouts in game 1. Has been striking out a lot as of late. Huge for her to put the ball in play in this situation and put pressure on the Volts defense.
That is ball 4, and now the bases are loaded here in the first. Well, if the trend continues in this inning, then Rachel Garcia is going to feel pretty good because this would be a strikeout. Every other batter has reached. She has struck out the other two. Anna Gold with other plans. Last year's AUSL Rookie of the Year swings first pitch, and this is in foul territory. Sierra Romero flies in from first. Garcia strands, the bases loaded. More frustration for Carolina. For the rookie out of Oklahoma State, Ruby Malin, who started the season with Oklahoma City and hasn't thrown since June 22nd. So what do? Fresh out of the reserve pool on Friday, Ruby Malin in a must-win situation.
Love seeing the rookie Ruby Malin getting another chance with a different team. We saw her with the Oklahoma City Spark, made 6 appearances through just over 9 innings, but the competitiveness that Ruby Malin brings in the circle, we saw it with the Oklahoma State Cowgirls in the circle for them, but June 9th, she was selected from the reserve athlete pool to the Spark, and then she was reassigned back to it, and now she is back with the Blaze. They're excited to have her, and she has been the probable Game 3 starter. They're sticking with it, and the rookie gets the ball in a massive game for the Blaze.
She is technically a reserve on this roster, but this has a good chance to stick. Dana Sorensen will have the opportunity to make this permanent for next season. Ruby misses outside ball 1 to Riley Boone, who's got 3 of the 9 hits in the series for Texas. She also was responsible for the walk-off winner in Game 1, a sac fly. Jackie Liss had the walk-off winner in Game 2. So much fun watching Riley Boone, not just on the field, but if you're up in the booth and in between innings, you're just watching kind of her antics in the dugout and everything. She is an entertainer.
We need her mic'd up all the time. You know, we've had those cameras in the dugout that the players have kind of been in charge of. I just need one on Riley Boone, like all the time, her mic'd up, like her own show. I think that there's one player on every team that could have their own show.
2-2 count to start things off. Up and out of play. As close as we've gotten to some action this year, I think.
You know, I'll be ducking. Not ashamed of it.
It's disappointing, but that is what I've come to expect from you in the booth from a catching perspective.
I've disappointed you. I don't hate that I dodged the foul balls up here.
I just really feel like it's your moment to shine. To be like, I've still got it.
Yeah, I'm okay dodging like this. And I do not want it to hit my hands, break a finger.
On the ground to Jenna Laird, who starts at shortstop tonight. Alyssa Brito not in the starting lineup, but looked good in pregame warmups.
And with Ruby Malin in the circle, she's going to force a lot of ground balls to this solid infield back behind her with the ball, because her drop ball is going to be her go-to pitch. Throws with good velocities, 68 to 70 miles an hour. Will mix in a rise ball in there every now and then, and her changeup, even thrown at 8%, is a lot for Ruby compared to how much she had thrown it in her full college career. A pitch that she had worked on her senior year to develop that, to be able to have a different speed.
2 years at Washington, 2 at Oklahoma State, and was just a workhorse this year for Kenny Gajewski and company. Helped them to a super regional appearance in Lincoln, Nebraska, back in front of not quite her hometown, but her home state, and not far from her hometown in Omaha. Big 12 co-pitcher of the year this year, and a back-to-back All-American at Oklahoma State.
You think about how much pressure is put on Ruby Malin. I mean, she already has pressure because she's a rookie, because she's somebody that was in the reserve athlete pool who is now getting another chance to prove herself. I mean, that alone is a lot of pressure on Ruby Malin. But then you add the team aspect.
Into left center field, that is going to find the grass. Kennedy fires to second. It was a good throw, but not quite in time to get Coffee, and it's a double.
you add the team aspect for what this Blaze team is playing for, a spot in the playoffs, must-win situation as she leaves a drop ball a little bit up in the zone, and Danica Coffey is able to go down and get it, find a gap, and get herself to second base. Dakota Kennedy, who was a Gold Glover out there in left field, did a good job of cutting that ball off and giving herself a chance to make it out at second. That play was very close, but only got there because Coffey has good speed.
That sets up the dangerous Tiare Jennings. That is inside and goes beyond the line, painted in the grass, which means on this minor league baseball field, it's just one base for the base runners, unless they are stealing. See the line painted right there. We are at Dell Diamond, home of the Round Rock Express and the Texas Volts for the first year full time. Express are the AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. Beautiful ballpark. We've had excellent crowds this series. There is weather in the area today. I think our hope is that it has passed us, but we've seen intermittent rain showers over the last few hours here in Round Rock. Is that how it is in Texas? Give us the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the summer and the afternoons, the heat starts to build up, scattered thunderstorms start to happen.
Great job! Good response, Yahoo!
Big hitters count here for Jennings. Tiare, a third-year pro, second in the AUSL. And is in there for strike two. Atwood did not squeeze it. Where does Malin go? 3-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Ruby Malin.
Wow. That was big. 11 inches of vertical breakdown on this drop ball that is going to get the chase of Tiare Jennings, who just has so much patience at the plate, rarely chases out of the strike zone like that. That is a big strikeout for Ruby Malin with the runner at third base, and getting Jennings out like that.
Delivers strike one to Deja Mulipola. Kind of shows signs of breaking out late in this season. 2 for 3 with a double and a pair of walks in the series so far. Deja at her best is basically unbeatable at the plate. We've seen that in past years. Struggled a little bit last year. We haven't seen much of her this year. Came over late from Japan. She'll be with Team USA later this summer as well.
Really nice day at the plate in game 2. Found a way on in every plate appearance that she had, and ended up intentionally walking her to get to Jackie Liss in that last inning, which led to the walk-off hit by Jackie Liss. Smart move by the Blaze, though. First base was open. There were runners at second and third, and Mulipola, being such an experienced hitter.
Here she is again, into the gap in right center field. That's going to score the first run of the game. And Deja has Texas's second double of the inning.
Other thing that we're going to pay attention to in this game is that any ball that is hit to the outfield is going to be a chance for extra bases, no matter if it gets to the wall or if the outfielder cuts it off, because the ball is going to be wet when they pick it up from the little drizzle that we're having, the outfield grass being wet. So base runners in this game, I think, are going to be aggressive, trying to take an extra 60 feet when they can when the ball goes to the outfield.
Rachel Garcia trying to help her own cause. Already a 1-0 lead for Texas. They had just one extra base hit in the, or 2 extra base hits, I should say, in the first 2 games, and 2 here in this inning. Neither team has lit it up offensively, so when you look at the situation for Carolina, having lost the last 2, it looks like it's been really heartbreaking because they've only given up 9 total hits, but they only had 9 total hits themselves offensively. Just been Texas who's come through in the Garcia takes 2-0.
And there's been a lot of that going on in the past week in the league. There have been a lot of close games, a lot of games that have come down to the 6th, 7th innings, a lot of walk-offs. The games have been very intense with just a few days, a week left before the regular season comes to an end.
Utah has already clinched a spot in the postseason, but that top spot's still up for grabs. Portland just 2 games behind Utah, and then Chicago just a game back of the Talons, who they will play in Chicago twice in this final week as Garcia walks. Two on, two out, a little Big 12 matchup coming up here. Jackie Liss out of Texas Tech, the hero a couple nights ago, against Ruby Malin out of Oklahoma State. Inside, ball 1.
It's a long first inning for Ruby Malin, and every run that the Volts score, especially early, is going to be tough for this Blaze offense that struggled to put things together to come back from. It just seems like with how they've been hitting, I think that day off that the Blaze had yesterday in this series could be maybe just a good reset, a good rebound time for their offense to reset and really show what they're capable of. A Blaze team that put up a lot of runs early in the season, but have just gone so cold. So every run that the Volts can score right now is huge against the Blaze.
I like that!
Malin just missing. 2-1 count. The AUSL zone is a little bit higher than the college zone, so I think she was hoping to get that call. This is belted to left field and gone. Jackie Liss is heating up. Texas is playing the spoiler this week in Round Rock.
She has such a good eye at the plate. So much patience leads to a Ruby Malin drop ball that is just up in the zone, doesn't get down, doesn't necessarily hit a corner, and Jackie Liss is just right on top of it. She is so good at finding mistakes. She did the same thing in her walk-off hit, and her last at bat against the Blaze was the walk-off RBI that she had to win it. Now she backs it up with a 3-run home run.
Jackie Liss, another one she's picked up out of the reserve athlete pool. Trying to make your case to be on this roster full-time in 2027.
I think Jackie Liss could be a very solid professional hitter, and hope she gets a chance to find a permanent place in this league, because you just kind of felt it. You saw her play that final year at Texas Tech. You saw what she did at Southern Illinois before that with the numbers, but then seeing what she's been able to do, get better as the season has gone on, grow in her rookie season. Like she really, I think, could be a professional hitter in this league.
Leanne Good swings through that pitch for strike 2. What do you think has been different? It's the first time we've seen Texas in person all year long. What do you think has been different this weekend versus some of their previous results?
I think getting quality starts from their pitching and then their defense being a little sharper.
Laird, long throw. It's high, and Good is going to take second. The ball got hung up there in the padding to the dugout.
I think that one should go down as a hit. And we talked about this with the outfield, and this is going to be a grass infield, even though softball is usually going to be a dirt infield. But look at how Jenna Laird just did not have a good grip on that, because the ball got wet as it was on the ground getting to her. So hitting the ball on the ground, if it's going to continue to just kind of spit rain here, it could be a good tactic to make the infielders make a throw with a wet softball.
Four first-inning runs after entering this game, having just scored 5 in the first 20 games of the season in the first inning. That's combined. And that'll do it for Ruby Malenstay. Just 2 outs recorded, 4 runs. Emma Lemley trying to come in and calm things down for Carolina. 0-1 on the season, just 9 1/3 innings pitched. Last 2 times she's thrown, though, 5 innings and just 1 earned run. They need more of that from Lemley to try to stay in this game early on. Let's go down to Anna Camden with the home run hitter, Jackie Liss.
Jackie, it's been quite a series for you so far. What's been working for you?
I think just trusting the preparation I've put in this whole series and trusting that I'm a good hitter. I haven't had the best series before this. So really just kind of watching my own highlight film, honestly, and remembering that I'm a good hitter. That's why I'm here. And just trusting myself in the box a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say off that home run, you're a good hitter. Thanks, Jackie. Back to you, Jackie.
You gotta be your own hype woman. I love it.
Too. May remember Jackie Liss from the Women's College World Series and her little puppy Peanut that was down on the field in Texas Tech's national championship run, where they finished runners-up but made it to the finals. And little Peanut was just a puppy then, little golden retriever.
First career home run for Jackie Liss. Now someone at the plate who is finishing up her career. Sierra Romero has announced she will retire at the end of this season. Seems like she hadn't had a lot of ABs in this series. She's been walked 3 times in the first 2 games. Takes that just outside, 3-1.
Show really good patience. And her sister Sydney Romero will be here with the Spark, playing a 2-game series tomorrow and Wednesday. And they're actually here. She sent me a picture of the fact that she's at the stadium, so I know she's here to support her sister in tonight's game.
Ground ball left side, diving stop by goal. That is a foul ball. And good, jogs back to second. You tell that infield grass a little bit damp out there.
Yellow, here we go.
3-2. Sierra fights another pitch off into the stands.
I think this might be the longest first inning that we've had this season. We've had some quick, full first innings that have been 12 to 15 minutes long, the top and bottom half of the inning. This has been a long one.
Got her swinging. Lemley climbs the ladder and gets out of it, but Jackie Liss and Texas up big.
X 3v3 competition, and they got to partner up and team with teammates like Ryan Howard, Jordan Mailata. And the player said it was 100% worth sacrificing a normal off day. And the woman in the circle right now, well, I'd say she had herself quite a good day.
Yeah, Rachel Garcia was the MVP of that event, and one of a few of the standout performances for the AUSL there.
It's actually incredible that Rachel Garcia is starting the game today after the performance that she put on in yesterday's competition. I had watched that for the first time. I had never seen an MLBX competition, and I was absolutely enthralled. And when we say that the AUSL players, there was one on each of the teams, there were 4 teams, 4 AUSL players stole the show. They literally stole the show, especially Rachel Garcia and Alyssa Brito. So Rachel Garcia was the MVP, and then Alyssa Brito carried her team. So much to the point where people were tweeting about that she should be on the Philadelphia Phillies and adding to their offense, because apparently they need a power right-handed hitter. Alyssa Brito might be that girl, but no, she's on the Blaze, not starting today. But I mean, she had quite a performance.
I think someone said that the Phillies are an Alyssa Brito away from a World Series ring.
I'm telling you, watching it, she was amazing. And so was Rachel Garcia. I just am incredibly impressed that she is out here after traveling there, traveling back, hitting all those home runs. You get defensive points as well. Whenever you're not hitting, you're out in the outfield shagging, and if you catch a fly ball, then you get points for that. Like, I learned all about MLBX, and I loved it. I'm in. especially with the way that the AUSL players showed up.
One out for Garcia in the second. Mackenzie Clark fouls this into the stands. So here is some of them that were there. Alyssa Brito, Nigeri Kennedy, Rachel Garcia, and Tiare Jennings all participated in the MLBX 3-on-3, and then also some other big names at All-Star Village. Michaela Edenfield, Bailey Klingler, Carlin Pickens.
So just to describe it for fans, MLBX, there is you're in a Major League Baseball stadiums. They were in the Phillies stadium. There is a stage out essentially where second base would be, and the players hit off of as if it's just like a home run derby, like is going to happen tonight. There's somebody throwing to them. They hit into the stands, baseballs. But if they don't go out of the park, if it's just a pop fly that's still in the park, the other team has a chance to go over and catch the fly ball for also defensive points. So you get home run points as well as defensive points. And I just thought it was an absolute blast.
It is a 3-inning contest. And so it's 3v3, of course. So each inning, one person on each team gets to hit. You get a point for every home run, a point for every catch. And that at-bat is 2 minutes long. You get 1 2-minute at-bat per game. Clark in the left. Foul ball.
Well, you could just tell how strong Rachel Garcia is. Her entire life, she's been a pitcher who can swing it. She's hitting in the 5-hole in this Volt starting lineup tonight, and usually has one of the highest exit velocities when she's hitting. She throws some of the hardest velocities when she's pitching. Of course, Carlin Pickens on the other side, if she gets a strikeout there on the inner half, it just freezes Mackenzie Clark. Carlin Pickens would be the hardest thrower that we have in the league, but Rachel Garcia is definitely up there as she just freezes Clark on this backdoor curveball, getting the call a little bit off the plate. Backdoor curveball is working today to these righties.
Now to the 9-hole, Jenna Laird. Garcia trying to go 1, 2, 3. She stranded the bases loaded in the first inning. That feels like kind of the underlying theme in this series. Carolina, massive opportunity. Weren't able to come through with it. This time, the Volts didn't waste any time in making them pay. It's actually the first runs Texas had scored before the 5th inning in this series.
Can you imagine how tired Garcia is, though? I mean, just thinking, traveling is hard on anybody, but they got to Philadelphia Saturday night or Sunday morning at 2 a.m. and then went and competed Sunday, flew back here, and now she's in the circle starting this game and hitting in the lineup too, doing both.
No big deal, right? Just facing some of the best hitters in the world. Did Laird go? She did not.
And it's, you know, a difficult day to pitch in too, because we talked about it, still just kind of light drizzle rain that I'm sure these fans are absolutely hating to have to just sit in and feel the drops hitting them on a warm day like this, but it's probably cooling it off a little bit too.
Laird, good swing on that pitch, and she's got a 2-out base knock. Well, it might not feel that important, but this kind of is the Oklahoma City feel. When Maya Brady's on deck, you do not want to let her have an opportunity with somebody on base. It's the same situation with Reese Atwood right now. This is not who you want at the plate. We have seen a lot of teams somewhat pitch around Reese. Texas did that in game 1, certainly. It looked like they were doing it in game 2. So the rain's starting to fall a little bit more consistently. Reese swinging first pitch, and it's a slow roller. Garcia gets out of it on just one pitch. 4-0 Texas as we go to the bottom of the second. Just 1 week remaining in the regular season. Tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. Oklahoma City comes to Texas to take on the Volts. And a big 2-game series in Durham for Carolina. They take on the Chicago Bandits. That's Wednesday at 6 Eastern. We are joined by Carolina's general manager, Dana Sorensen. One of the reasons it's a big week for the Carolina Blaze is because of this great improvement that we've seen from your team in its second year. Obviously, on a frustrating stretch right now, but when you look at it as a whole, what has stood out about the turnaround we've seen from your group?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pitching first and foremost. I mean, last time I checked, we were, top half of the league in ERA, and that's always going to keep you in a bunch of ball games, right? Like, Carlin to the staff has been a huge influx, and, Kaylani back to being healthy have been big pieces for us.
Leading off the inning is Jaden Goodwin, 9-1-2 for Texas.
There you go.
In the air right side, Aubrey Leach will handle it, and there's one out.
Speaking of handling it, Dana, how do you feel like your team has handled this tough stretch? I mean, there's just no getting around it. Like, how have you guys been able to navigate these walk-offs and where you're at right now?
Man, it's tough is an understatement, right? I think in the last 5 losses, I think 3 have been extra innings. We've been, 1 run difference, maybe 2 runs a couple of times. We've had as many runners on as I can conceive in a game without getting that big punch. So we're taking it, game after game. But what I've learned about this league is this tests the resilience of any softball player because there is no break. You get a tough walk-off on a night, and then the next night you're facing, walk-off against Nyjah. I think the next night we're facing Ali Carta, right? And now we're here against Rachel. Like, there's just no break in the pitching staff of all these teams. So it really challenges the mental fortitude of your offense and your team. And, I think they're doing their best today. They came out with good attitude and good spirits, and we'll see if we can get our offense rolling here.
Good spot from Lemley. 2-1 count to Riley Boone. Dana, we've been so thrilled these first 2 years of the AUSL, and it just feels like it's all positive. But from somebody who's in some more in-depth meetings and gets to see it in a different light, what stands out to you about just what the AUSL's done in these first 2 years?
To me, the number one thing is this is the most competitive softball I have ever been a part of as a player, as a coach, as a general manager. I mean, I've had my stint in the pro league and in college, and the College World Series is one of the toughest tournaments in the land. But you put this number of talented athletes together, 90. This is the hardest game of softball I have ever been a part of, and to me, I think that's exciting because that's great for the fans. It's Brittany Cervantes, one of our assistant coaches who played for Team Mexico and was in the previous pro league, was a player of the year and had a great career. She said the other day, she's like, "This is hard. This is the hardest game I've been a part of." So I think that's great for the league, right? That's what sells it for the fans is the competitive nature.
Brittany Cervantes, a great Chicago Bandit back in her playing days, so that's saying something from her as Boone grounds out and there's 2 away.
And 2 quick outs for you, which I'm sure you appreciate after that tough first inning where you guys came up 4. But just to ask you one more, at least, about Reese Atwood. What has surprised you about her and her rookie season? I mean, back behind the plate, hitting, tell me anything you want to tell me about Reese Atwood. I'm here to hear it.
Reese Atwood is a phenomenal human being. You don't get to see her personality a lot on the field because she's very stoic and competitive, and facial expressions doesn't give a whole lot away. But she is just a great human being. She speaks up when she needs to speak up. She works incredibly hard. She doesn't need to be the biggest voice in the room, but when her voice needs to be heard, it will. Total team player. I think if we said, "Hey, Reese, go play center field," she would. I didn't know much. I knew a bit about Carlin, and I knew a little bit about Dakota from some of my college coaching contacts, but I didn't know a whole lot about Reese other than she can hit and she can catch. But she's a great person.
Dana, you just need to stay in the chair. Apparently, that was a perfect 1, 2, 3 inning. Thank you so much. Always great to talk to you. That's Dana's social media platforms.
How about a pitcher was the MVP at the MLBX All-Star 3-on-3 competition that was played yesterday. I mean, I'd love a little deep dive on the AUSL pitchers because each of them, every single pitcher that is in this league has some type of what I call unique. Rely on spin, maybe rely on movement, maybe rely on accuracy. I mean, each of them has their own thing. They're not just only going to be hard throwers like Carlin Pickens. Velocity is spin, location, the mindset that goes into pitching, that matters.
1-1 count to Valerie Cagle leading off this inning for Carolina. Need to start chipping away at this lead as the rain Starting to fall a little bit harder now. It actually feels like it's lighter out, but the rain is coming now. Rachel looking for strikeout number 4. 2-2.
And I do think about that pitching series as well. The one thing that when people talk about softball, the speed of the game, the athleticism, and they immediately go to them just being in amazement of fast pitch pitching and pitching under. I can't wait to watch that series and kind of see what all they cover and go deeper into, because I think that there's so many people who wonder about underhand fast pitch pitching and how it works, and everybody thinks that they can do it, but it's just such a difficult position, physically and mentally.
Foul ball. What's the toughest part growing up? What's like the thing that has to click for a young pitcher?
Mechanically, I think it's just the consistency, because your body is growing. At 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, your body is different every single day, and you try to get those consistent mechanics, but I think mentally, not comparing yourself to everybody else.
Strikeout number 4 for Garcia. We talked about that busy off day for all these players. Rachel Garcia, the MVP, the MLBX 3v3 competition. You see what she did points-wise. Let's go down to Anna Camden with more.
Well, I don't think a few of these players would consider yesterday's off day a real off day, because they got onto a bus and drove directly to the Dallas airport, where they flew to Philadelphia, landed in Philadelphia at technically Sunday morning, and then competed in the MLBX 3v3. And then had to partner with celebrities and athletes like Jordan Mailata and Ryan Howard. It was an incredible day, and one that they said they don't regret one bit not having a formal off day. And that woman in the circle right there, well, she's one of them who had the best day, like you just said, Chucky.
Rachel Garcia and Alyssa Brito. The other one, Alyssa Brito really show and kind of won the hearts of Philadelphia sports fans, as Anna knows as a native Philadelphia, and that is not easy to do.
Well, in the first round, the semifinal round, Rachel Garcia hit a walk-off, so she was the last hitter, you know, kind of like the home team. All she had to do was hit one home run, and her first swing, boom, home run, she won it, and then they pushed her team to the finals. So and helping her get that MVP, and of course what she did in the made it look so easy. She is so strong. The ball just flies off of her bat. She was hitting it into the second deck at the Philadelphia Phillies field. It was extremely impressive.
A tapper to the left side. Tiare Jennings was also there on one of those teams, and she retires Aubrey Leach for the second out.
She did awesome. She had competed in MLBX before, as well as Rachel Garcia had. Alyssa Brito, as we were talking about before. I mean, she just crushed it. She was so much fun to watch compete, because that's the thing, is like, you're not just hitting home runs and making the defensive plays. You see the competitive juices coming out of these players wanting to win.
Alyssa Brito is fiery.
He's fiery and clutch.
Nets to center field. Lassiter going back and makes the play. Well, Rachel Garcia just one base runner in the last 2 innings, and it was a 6. And Carolina trails Texas 4-0 with the Volts coming to the plate here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Emma Lemley has done a nice job of entering into this game. And the Volts putting up a crooked number in the bottom of the first is where we are at right now. Ruby Malin got the start. Emma Lemley came in and got the last out, which is a strikeout, and then just faced 3 in the last inning. So Emma Lemley trying to pull back some momentum to the Blaze side and keep the score where it's at.
Leading off the inning is Tiare Jennings. Oh my goodness, Tiare! Wow! An absolute blast from Tiare Jennings.
Okay, well, that's kind of what she looked like yesterday at the MLBX competition. Hitting home runs like that. You know, she wanted to go up and swing early in the count after striking out in her first at bat. That was against Ruby Malin, so this is her first time her that she was going to face Emma Lemley. Wasted no time. 1 pitch, 1 run for Tiare Jennings.
There is ball 1 to Deja Mulipola. Number 5 for Tiare. There is strike 1. It is 5-0 Texas. This is in the air to center. Clark goes back, and that one doesn't quite have the legs. 1 out. Here is Rachel Garcia. Walked and scored on the 3-run shot by Jackie Liss earlier today.
I really want to know if she's sore at all. Her and Alyssa Brito both, because of the 4 players that competed in MLB X yesterday. They were definitely the ones that got the most swings. For sure, Alyssa Brito, because there was 1 round, remember, Rachel Garcia walked it off on the first pitch, just like she didn't even really have a full round, but she won it. But Alyssa Brito hit a ton, and I would love to know if they're sore, like how their legs feel. I just still can't believe that she is starting this game, throwing with good velocity. She is just such a strong athlete.
Did you go take some cuts in the cage on your off day?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
Just, I went to one of those cages where you put a quarter in the machine. The machine just feeds you balls.
Right up to like 80 or something.
Yeah, I had my own home run derby in the cages.
Harlan Pickens speed.
I was inspired by the MLBX, so just went out on my own.
Good, I see you.
You're trying to hit a home run. Like the effort that you put into the home run derby that's happening tonight or the MLBX competition, that's not your normal version of BP or hitting in the cages, right? Like you're using your full body to hit a home run in an event like that. It takes a lot of effort.
Hey, you keep working, keep working.
Garcia's on for the 2nd time tonight via the walk. Now here is Liss. Doubled her RBI total for her rookie season with her last swing. It was her first career home run. RBIs 4, 5, and 6. Takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Do you know how many career home runs you hit at Texas A&M?
I think like 25. That was only in 3 years because my senior year I got injured. And back then, I mean, 25 home runs in a year now is like a normal number. But, you know, back in my day, it was a decent number. I'm not saying it was one of the best, but it was all right.
Yeah, not bad. You have to confirm that, though. 25 is what your guess is.
As he pulls up the stats. Watch it be like 3. And you're going to call me on here.
That's
I'm
right,
just kidding.
exactly.
It definitely won't be 3.
It's going to be a standby for... Slow roller left side, scooped up by Laird. Low throw, picked up by the Gold Glover Devin Netz over at first. It's one of those many Gold Glovers you love on this Blaze defense.
I do love all the Gold Glovers on this team. And again, any ball that is hit in the infield right now, because it's a grass infield, is going to be difficult to make a throw, just like the outfield. So because it's the AAA park, it is a converted baseball field that we put up temporary fences to be 230 to center and then 210 down the lines. And it's going to be grass except for where the pitching circle is, which is going to be cut out and in dirt.
Inside ball 1 to Leanne Good. You got it. 25 home runs in your Texas A&M career.
I think I would have hit a few more my senior year too, but it ended in February.
Good, fouls this back into the second level. One from Lemley. Another foul ball from Good. Man, Good top 10 in jersey sales in a rookie season. And this crowd, when they announce Leanne Good coming to the plate, goes wild.
They grew a attachment to her, especially these Texas fans here watching her compete in the Women's College World Series in 25 and 26. We have a lot of the top jersey players in tonight's game.
6 of the 10. Carlin Pickens and Reese Atwood both in the top 3. Nigeri Kennedy there in 4th. Good into right field, and Klingler comes on to make the catch for out number 3. Through 3 here in
to Austin that night, lands in Austin at 3 a.m. today and is suited up on the field and just hit a home run. But she said she's not even tired. She's just riding the high of these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.
Yeah, no kidding. Not just presenting the game ball at a World Cup game. You're doing so at a quarterfinal match. And I just look over to the right, and there's one of the biggest names in the history of sports, Lionel Messi.
I know you're a World Cup fan, so tell me a little bit more about what that means to be a stadium captain, because me as a softball fan, I know it's a big deal. I'm picking up on that, but why is it a big deal?
Oh, the presentation of the game ball, my goodness.
That's
absolutely
what it's all about. There's only one person that does that, presents the game ball like that. Okay.
Tiara got to do it, and I want to say later in that game. I'm trying to think if Messi scored that night or not. It feels like he scored every night. I don't know if he scored that night, but Argentina moved on. I know that.
Yeah, that is a packed 36 hours, but living on that adrenaline like she talked about. Now a home run in this game, hitting home runs in Philadelphia. Man, that's pretty awesome. The Cat just caught that ball.
Cat caught that ball in the air. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And she's looking down maybe at one of the little girls, or maybe she's like trying to make eye contact with me, like, Amanda, that's how it's done. Now she's going to throw it to the crowd. Oh, this is so fun. Now she's choosing who she's going to throw it to. Oh.
I think that was a safe call.
I love that. What are the odds?
Yeah, there's a couple thousand people here tonight, and the ball on a foul ball just found Kat Osterman in the stands. And she didn't completely shy away from it. And there's the young fan who just got that ball from one of the greatest to ever play this sport.
Oh, awesome.
Now she needs it autographed.
That is so special.
3-2 from Garcia. Another foul ball from Dakota Kennedy. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming here in the top of the 4th. Kennedy leading things off. 5-6-7 due up against Garcia. Another foul ball. Seems like a weekend that doesn't mean a lot for Texas, but when you look at kind of what they've experienced this year, all the frustration. We talked earlier in this series about the close losses. 48% of their losses in their first 2 years of existence have come by 1 or 2 runs. So they've been so close. In this series, they've been on the right side of those wins, trying to come up with a sweep, their first of the year right here. This feels like it could set the tone and just kind of bring this group further together. I think we talked about it in Game 1. They just seemed loose when they came out on the field in Game 1.
Yeah, I agree. It could set the tone for next year and just really seeing what this team is capable of with the talent. They are very young. I think a lot younger than what Kat Osterman thought they were going to be coming into the season, but several things have happened to lead us to be here.
NWSL action coming your way Wednesday night. Gotham FC takes on Washington Spirit at 8 Eastern. Watch it live on ESPN and stream the match anytime on the ESPN app. Anna Gold takes strike one. It's also a team that one of their 3 wins entering this series was from Alyssa Denham, who pitched in 1 game this year and has missed the remainder of the season. than we've seen how Garcia, Carta, and Kennedy have thrown in this series. You see the potential. It's right there. They're also missing one of the best hitters on the planet over the last, I don't know, decade in Amanda Lorenz since she was at Florida and now under professional time, who is on the temporary inactive list, pregnant with her first child. O2 pitch popped up by Gold. And I just go back to the close losses, too, with somebody like an Amanda Lorenz.
Yeah, it could be a difference maker if she's playing in the lineup, just one swing or one hit, one play that just gets you back into it. But, I mean, those close losses, the Blaze are going through that right now with the 5-game losing streak that they're currently on, all close games that have been decided by 1 or 2 runs. It's not fun. It's especially for these athletes who are used to winning at their respective teams, or when they played in college, whenever they played in high school, their travel ball team. All of these athletes are used to winning. They're not used to being on the losing side. So just a different journey to navigate. As Nyjah Kennedy, who threw the complete game in game 1, is feeling like she's out in the bullpen right now warming up. Maybe we'll see her come in relief possibly.
It's also different, too, when you look ahead. Last year, when these two teams were struggling, you kind of could look to the offseason and say, well, you're going to have an expansion draft. You're going to have an allocation draft. You can really alter your roster in a very short amount of time if you feel like you need to make changes. That's not necessarily going to be the case in this offseason. Not that you can't make moves, but the opportunity to bring in some of the best players in the world is not going to be there because they're already on teams.
When you can build a team around somebody like, really, there's 3 or 4 of them. Rachel Garcia and her experience internationally and professionally, but then also Deja Mulipolis, Sierra Romero, and Tiari Jennings. I mean, that's a good core.
In the left field, awkward spot. Jennings can't quite get to it. And Kennedy is up to third.
And then you throw Amanda Lorenz in there, who is not now. I mean, that adds to that core group of just highly talented individuals in our sport with a ton of experience.
And when I said that, I meant more in the sense that they don't need to make a lot of changes, but it makes these wins so much more important to just win with who you're going to have to do it with next year. First pitch strike to Mackenzie Clark. Mackenzie still looking for her first hit of the season. She's got some serious pop in her bat, a tremendous athlete. We've seen her a lot defensively. We've seen her as a runner with her speed. Did she go? She did.
Did not think she went on that live, but maybe I'm wrong. It's that drop ball that gets such good chase to it. She wants you to chase this pitch down, and I guess one of those calls that could have gone 50-50. She was just so quick at pulling her barrel back right away.
Discipline to lay off that pitch. Carolina has got to get something out of a first and third with just 1 out. That is in the dirt, and that will allow Bailey Klingler to reach second base. So no force outs now for this Volts defense.
Sabrito is just at the front of the dugout. She has been there this entire game, not playing. And today, maybe getting some rest for her after a long day of hitting home runs in the MLBX competition yesterday. But she is front and center, trying to lead this team. She has a big voice. She has been like even outside the dugout, at the front of the dugout, cheering everybody on, trying to bring the energy that she usually brings to the infield in the best way that she possibly can if she's not going to be competing on the field today.
Celebrating after a tremendous performance yesterday, potentially a pinch hit option down the stretch in this game if they get to a point where it would be a spot to use one. It's a good at bat here from Mackenzie Clark. Clark and Jenna Laird The 2 we'll see here with runners on second and third and just 1 out. Clark takes just outside, full count.
She is taking some pitches that Rachel Garcia wants her to swing at. She took her rise ball out of the zone, didn't chase it. She took her drop ball out of the zone, didn't chase it. Now she gets a curveball, didn't chase it again, to get herself to a full count right here where she can get something a little bit sweeter.
3-2 stayed up a little bit for Clark, and another foul ball. Who's going to win this battle, Garcia or Clark? Strike 3 on the inside corner.
She's been getting this backdoor curveball to the right-handed hitters on the inside part of the plate. Even though it's a ball and a half off the plate, she's spotting it there. She's going to get the call from the home plate umpire, and she's going to keep going back to it if they're going to take it.
And now Jenna Laird, the last option in the inning with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs. That was the same pitch that Mackenzie Clark went down looking on in her first at bat tonight. Laird now down 0-2. That is a great job behind the plate by Mulipola to save a run. These two have played a lot of softball together, Deja and Rachel, both in the Pro League and with Team USA. They will both don the USA colors later this summer. One-two from Rachel.
Well, they're seeing a lot of pitches from her. Look, she's already 83 pitches into this game, and it's just the top of the 4th inning. And that kind of is a Rachel Garcia 101 type game. I mean, that's kind of what you're in for with Rachel Garcia. She just doesn't give in a lot on the plate, so she tries to work the edges, oftentimes works deep counts, maybe has some walks in there like this. Like, she just doesn't give much over the heart of the plate. What just happened there?
I think a fan, somebody threw one of the foul balls off the second level, and I think a young fan caught it in her popcorn bucket.
That got the biggest applause of the game.
Inside strike 3. Rachel Garcia had 7 strikeouts, 3 of them with Aubrey Leach, presented by Zillow. Sierra Romero leads off the inning. Aubrey, you've been on both sides of this as a coach trying to get a team to calm down in the midst of a tough stretch, and now as a player in it, and you understand what you guys need. I'm just curious, kind of how are you approaching this, and how are you trying to help your team get through it?
Yeah, Len. I mean, I think we've just kind of hit this weird lull. It's not that anything has really changed. Sometimes our sport, I think you find yourself in these. Oh, ow. Oh, come on, BK. Oh, no. See, I think you just find yourself sometimes in these lulls, and it just kind of stinks for us because our season's so short that it seems a lot bigger than it is. But good energy, good vibes, still putting the work in, and just trying to get back on track.
2-1 count to Romero.
Aubrey, how
Good idea.
How have you enjoyed being back in Texas?
I loved it. It's weird to say, but I kind of miss the humidity, so in my element a little bit.
Did we hear you went home yesterday, like to your childhood home?
Oh, I did. We were given the day off, and I'm only 2.5 hours from home, so I made the trek. Got to spend the full day with my family, cousins, my aunt, and so it was a nice little mini vacay away.
3-2 pitch coming from Lemley.
Deep. 15 feet.
Romero to right center field, and Sierra leaves the yard for the 3rd time this year. Sierra with her mom and her 2 sisters in attendance tonight.
Okay, sounds good.
And there they are, Sydney, Sophia, and Melissa Romero looking on. Maya Brady, too, for that matter.
The general manager of the Spark, and Delaney Wiz. That area is packed up there. Sarah Gordon as well. Wow. What a moment for Sierra Romero, who's going to retire after this year.
Yell him. See working. Go get. Yell him.
3rd home run of the year for Sierra Romero, whose days as a pro are numbered with her retirement looming. Big thank you to Aubrey Leach for joining us live in the field. A great spot to come back to at the home sites that Aubrey gets to come play in Texas. She's from the Woodlands. That's where she went back to visit her family. It's also just a busy summer. She talks about how short this season is, but also an assistant coach at Tennessee. And then she will play with Team USA at the WBSC World Cup group stage in September in Oklahoma City.
Here we go, Ben.
Pitch just missing to Riley Boone at the top of the Volts order.
The thing about these 5 games that the Blaze have recently lost in a row is that they've been low scoring, just kind of pitchers duels going back to back. Their pitchers have kept them in games. So point being, it's their offense that has not really risen to the challenge on this 5-game losing streak. But to see this 6 runs that the Volts have put up, this has not been the norm on this losing streak for the Blaze. Their pitchers have done a good job. This is just an offensive explosion here by the Volts, as we talked about. It's going to be tough for the Blaze to come back from with the way that they're swinging the bat.
It's a complete flip from last year when the offense so many times put up a big number, and the pitching staff, who was last in the league with an ERA over 6, let them down. See the last 5 games, still a 2.65 ERA, but the team average is just a tick over 200. Nice play by Anna Gold for the 2nd out. And what's crazy, Amanda, we showed that same graphic a couple nights ago in Game 1. The average has actually gone down overall. Just 9 hits in the series entering tonight. And they've only added 3 to their total through 4 full innings. It is funny hearing Aubrey Leach mic'd up talking to one of her teammates in the dugout about the situation. She knows exactly where they are in the standings and where everyone else is. And Aubrey on Karen Weekly's staff. She also is a Tennessee Law School graduate back in 2024. Of course, Karen Weekly also had her law degree. And there's that kind of famous moment from a couple of years ago in the Women's College World Series of Aubrey with the rule book.
And that was with Megan Grant hitting a home run off of Carlin Pickens. And Megan Grant missed home plate, if you recall. And Aubrey Leach was the one with the rule book in her hands, just trying to dig down to the bottom of things with the rules during a long delay. But I think, Aubrey Leach is such a star. I feel like she could be good at anything that she did. She's very smart. She is very detail-oriented. And that's what, makes her such a great coach. And I would guess a future head coach one day.
Also, what we've seen from her, the offense hasn't been what we expect from Aubrey Leach this summer, but the defense, she's shown off her versatility. We've seen her at second base, we've seen her in the outfield at all 3 spots, and I think that's part of the reason, along with the fact that her IQ is so high, that Patty Gasso really likes her. She's on the main USA team this summer as Tiare Jennings goes down on strikes. Volts have scored at least 1 run in 3 of the 4 innings so far, maybe ever in this sport.
Absolutely. The college career that she put together and her professionalism for, 10 years now as a pro softball player. Highly respected. Used to seeing her play second base. And, of course, moving over to first base majority of the time, where we've seen her this season. But I just love the fact that her mom, Melissa, and sisters Sydney and Sophia were here for this moment. Like texting about it. Did you see that? That was so cool. Sierra hit a home run. We went crazy for her. I love that we were here to see it. Sydney will be playing against Sierra tomorrow night and Wednesday with the Spark.
Oklahoma City in a similar situation to Carolina, although the Volts are going to make sure if they win this game that OKC is actually in a better spot. They are 9-11 on the year, 2.5 games back from Portland in third place. And Oklahoma City, this is what's really notable about that. They actually have the tiebreaker on Portland, whereas Carolina does not. They would have to eclipse their win total. This is what Texas has left.
Well, the Spark had a massive win last night against the Talons. They actually won that series, and
2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, but just thinking about, like, again, how important that was in their run. I mean, all of these games, it's July 13th, the last regular season day is July 20th. Every single game right now matters. And Blaze down by 6. Rachel Garcia continuing to roll with 8 strikeouts now in this game, but Sparks still have a chance. Blaze trying to give themselves a chance that they can just score some runs.
Oklahoma City really probably feel like they should have swept Utah in that series. They were in a good spot in game 2. This is in the air in foul territory. Also a really cool weekend in OKC because of our analysts that we had in the booth with Eric Collins, Lonnie Alameda, and she got to talk to Sydney Sherrill and Jesse Warren. It was so much fun listening to Lonnie, and then Patty Gasso as well doing game 1 and 3 of that series. But so cool to listen to some of the best minds in our sport in the broadcast booth.
I didn't like that you cheated on me with Patty Gasso in game 1 of that series. You called the game with her, and then Eric was with Lonnie and Patty for game 2 and 3. But I'm a little jealous that you got to call a game with the GOAT by yourself, but that's all right.
You got to do it last year. We got to do it, and it was at her house, Loves Field in Norman, too, last year.
Although she probably would let us call a game at her house.
Yeah, that's
Patty,
right.
If
Yeah.
we need to do a little live from home, she'd open up her home for us and allow us to call a game from there. But it's awesome to hear from Coach Gasso and Coach Alameda. Loved it.
1-2 pitch from Rachel to Aubrey Leach, outside ball 2. It's a tough time in the season at any point for a 5-game losing streak, and to do it in the heartbreaking fashion that Carolina has. But you just wonder, just kind of watching some of these at-bats down the stretch, have they ran out of gas this week? Has it just sucked the life out of them having these games go the way they have over the last week? Aubrey able to walk for the 2nd time in this game.
Just not been able to get that big hit with runners on base. It has been just a struggle for them. And I think that while they've been struggling, the Volts as pitchers and offense have just gained confidence throughout this series. Playing their best ball this season by far.
Texas had lost 8 in a row entering this series. Now back-to-back wins and looking for their first 3-game sweep of the year. 2nd sweep overall. They beat Chicago in back-to-back games in a 2-game set here in Texas a couple weeks ago. Jackie Liss in foul territory makes the catch. Rachel Garcia is spinning it tonight. 8 strikeouts, one of her best performances of the year.
Sierra Romero, 3 home runs today, and in their last 10 games before this, they'd only hit 2 home runs. So finding ways to generate that pop that we saw early on in their season. Look how everything is coming together. They had the offense early on, but maybe the pitching was giving up quite too many runs. Now the pitching has been solid in this series. They're swinging the bat, having clutch hits. The Volts have just been tough this series.
Three innings away from a sweep, or 2 runs away from a sweep, with a 6-0 lead. Carolina has to be careful of a run rule situation. And a tough part of the order, too. Deja Mulipola, Rachel Garcia, Jackie Liss coming up. Hitters count here for Deja. Strike 1 from Emma Lemley.
You know that the Spark aren't loving the fact that they're seeing the Volts play like this when the Spark are to be coming to town tomorrow and Wednesday, need to win some games. They want to play a Volts team at the bottom of the standings that wasn't feeling great about themselves. Instead, they're going to be playing a Volts team that is playing their best ball of the season.
Leadoff single for Deja Mulipola in the 5th. This is what's coming up in the AUSL. One of the interesting dynamics with Oklahoma City is they're going to need some help, but they are the only game tomorrow, so you can just start to put a little more pressure on Portland maybe if you keep creeping up toward them. Oklahoma City probably feeling like they need a pair of wins in Texas over the next 2 days. Then they will finish their season with a 3-game series at Carolina. So you just wonder, is 4-1 possibly good enough to get them in the playoffs? They are going to need help from other teams to keep Portland in check.
Well, tonight,
that's a fair ball.
Yes, made its way down there.
It kind of went back and forth almost on the line as it went down the right field line.
Rachel Garcia has reached in all 3 plate appearances, just sneaking one past Devin Nets, and looked questionable whether it went over the white or the orange bag, but gets a call, fair ball. Just a single for Rachel Garcia, and Mulipola gets herself to third base.
Wouldn't be quite as dramatic or eventful as the other day, but Jackie Liss could technically walk this off in back-to-back games. This one would be in run rule fashion. Allie Carter will come in to run for Rachel Garcia. What an excellent performance Rachel's put in today, both at the dish and in the circle. And this is one of those games that shows you Rachel Garcia can still be an absolute elite talent in this league.
Absolutely. Again, just off of what she did yesterday in her MLBX performance. She deserves a little break. She doesn't need to run the bases right now.
She worked it!
Winning run is at first base.
No.
Texas, all of 4 days ago, had a 3-15 record, and they'd lost 8 in a row. They can double that win total with a win tonight and a sweep of Carolina. 3-0 count now to Jackie Liss.
I'm seeing them still fight and compete and play for something and not just throw in the towel. Even when they were out of the postseason race, it kind of seemed like when they were out of the postseason race after that game, is there to play better after that? Maybe some pressure off and just play loose and free. It's what they're playing like right now.
Leah Binford awaits on deck, one of the best power hitters on this roster for Texas, as Liss walks and loads the bases for Binford. Nobody out, and the winning run on second base. And it looks like we might see a pitching change. Carolina in the series have been outscored 11-3. They were shut out in game one. It was a 1-0 loss in 8 innings, and they are in danger of being shut out again. Devin Netz will move from first base to the circle. Lemley departs after entering all the way back in the first inning with 2 outs. Rachel Garcia, though, the story tonight for Texas. Excellent both in the circle and at the plate. The AUSL is sponsored by Zillow. Someday starts today. Garcia with now 8 strikeouts in the game, 3 of them backwards Ks. Her location has been pinpoint. I think it was really interesting, too. You talked about how Rachel's pitch count, it's just kind of what you expect. It's going to be up a little bit, but she's just not going to give you anything easy when she's on. And she's okay working deep into counts.
Yeah, her curveball, she's getting some calls off the plate a little bit, which is exactly when she throws her best, and being able to mix in that drop ball to its ability. But her curveball, she just doesn't give in on the plate.
So Devin Netz will face Aaliyah Binford. Takes a big cut at that pitch. Binford actually has had some recent success off Devin Netz. Last year in Tucson and against Arizona as a whole. These two matched up as seniors in regionals, with Ole Miss going there and upsetting Arizona. Binford into right field. The winning run going to be waved around from second. The throw wasn't made immediately, and Carter will score. Texas sweeps Carolina.